Welcome to the Childcare Genius Podcast, the world's leading authority on childcare marketing, mindset, expansion, and profitability. Our host, Brian Duprey, is the world's most sought-after childcare coach, having helped tens of thousands of childcare owners from around the globe take their business to the next level. Let's welcome to the Childcare Genius Podcast, our host, Brian Duprey.
Hello, welcome to the Childcare Genius Training Podcast Series. I'm your host, Brian Duprey, along with my beautiful wife, Carol, here. And we are starting a 4-part series on mindset that we're going to talk about for the next 4 weeks. How's that? Excited about that?
I am excited.
All right. Carol's mindset has gotten so much more exciting and much more positive in the last couple of years. And we're going to talk a little bit about the reasons why. And we're excited to share this with you. But before we get started, just a reminder that tickets are on sale now for our Leverage Financial Conference in Mexico, Riviera Maya, September 29th to October 2nd. Go to childcaregenius.com. Under the conference tab, select the Leverage Conference and get information about the event. And also you can get tickets there. So don't forget that. We'd love to meet you. So we're going to talk today about mindset. And this whole month, this whole 4-part series, we're gonna focus on improving your mindset, which is probably the catalyst to business success. You know, I was the first coach to bring mindset into the realm, into the forefront when I started coaching, because I knew how important it was in any business to have the owner and the leadership team start with a positive mindset. And one of the catalysts of a positive mindset is putting positive in each and every day. The world's a pretty negative place, right?
Very, especially if you watch the news.
Watch the news, you would think the world sky is falling, right? Nothing positive ever on the news. Like I never.
And on social media.
Social media is the worst, you know?
Social media is either negative or how much better everybody's doing than you.
Right, and they're all lying,
You know.
but yet you believe it. You believe everybody else. You know, it's unbelievable, you know, how much that could destroy your mindset and your self-confidence. And you wonder why, you know, teenagers are really struggling because they think the world is absolutely perfect and everybody else's lives are perfect compared to theirs, right? So one of the best ways to counteract a negative culture is by drowning out the negative. You know, if you were to take somebody who's a negative mindset and just have them positive in, eventually you dilute the negative out and you become more positive. And I've seen this happen with negative people. They could, you know, start reading a book, start listening to tape, something positive, and turn down some of the negative in their life, and it gets a whole lot better.
Yeah. What you feed your body determines how your body's going to look, and what you feed your mind determines how your mind's going to be.
Exactly. And you look at every situation through a lens, and that lens or filter is based on what input you've received throughout your life, obviously. But the more negative you are and the more negative you have, the more negative the filter will be when you have a situation come up. Are you going to attack a licensing visit that's negative from a negative mindset or from a positive mindset? And I can tell you the outcome is going to be completely different if you come at it from a positive mindset. You think that, oh, that she's there to improve the safety of my school, instead of, why is she in here again? Why is she always picking on me? It's different mindset, and the outcome is going to be completely different. So how do we improve that negative mindset? We start with books. And there are so many good books out there that are mindset related that we have been promoting with Inside Childcare Genius. And we work hard with our coaching students to get them on the positive mindset to help them deal with things better. So we recommend to start with something positive and start small. Just read 10 pages a day. It doesn't sound like a lot, and it isn't a lot. But if you read 10 pages a day, in 1 year, you've read 3,650 pages, which is about 10 to 14 books. And that's a lot. With 10 pages a day, that's 300 pages a month. That's a 300-page book. Very few books are 300 pages.
Right.
Most of them are like 150. So you'd read 2 books a month, 250-page books a month. So it doesn't take a whole lot of reading to read a lot of books. Carol and I average about a book a week or so. I do a book a week. Carol does maybe maybe 3 books a month instead of 4 books a month. I usually read probably 1 book a month more than she does. It's just a faster reader. And but she really gets a lot out of it. But talk about how you first started reading, how much you fought it.
I'm not a reader. I didn't really enjoy reading. But we started getting up. We started at 6 o'clock getting up. Now it's 5. We had to go baby steps. But we get up and we read our Bibles and start the day. But then we work out. But we start with a relaxing and positive way, and it changes your whole day.
It does. And
I was going to say, rather than getting up and immediately going to your office and start working,
I call it hamster wheeling, where you get up and you jump right on the hamster wheel and get right ready for work. You skip breakfast and you just jump out the door, you quick shower, and if that, and you just run out the door and you're on your way to work. And you've only been up for 10 minutes. And you're on the hamster wheel and you do that all day long. And then you come home and then you jump off the hamster wheel right before the time it is to go to bed. And you've been pounding negative in your body the entire day, listening to the news on the way to work. You hit, your work environment might be negative. Then you come home and, all of a sudden the kids are yelling, screaming. Your wife wants you to pick up the dish, do the dishes. Like it just, life gets in the way. And it's just, you've been compounded and you just have no time to yourself. And all of a sudden you could be in a negative mindset. But imagine if you got up a half hour, 45 minutes earlier and had a little quiet time before you get on that hamster wheel and just read 10 pages. Just start your day with a positive. The next thing you know, when you drive and somebody cuts you off, it's not as bad now. And when your boss comes to you at work and asks you to do a project, you're coming in from a positive perspective. And maybe at lunchtime, you had a couple breaks, you read a page or two or a devotional or something that positive. So you put more positive in. Maybe at the end of the day, instead of watching the news, maybe you read a couple more pages. So again, when the positive starts diluting the negative out, you want more positive in there because you realize the outcomes you have in your marriage, in your work, everything seems to start having a better outcome. And they don't bother you as much. And then you want to put more positive in. And that's where we're at now. Like, we can't read enough. We read for an hour and a half in the morning. I'm like, man, we should read for another hour. Some mornings we've read for 2.5, 3 hours. It's crazy because I have ADD. It's hard for me to sit and focus. But when I get into a book, I get kind of wrapped right in, and I love that. And it slowed me down. So I have rewired my brain to slow down, which has been a great thing for me. And puzzles will help me too. I do a puzzle every once in a while to slow my brain down, because somebody who's fast paced, who's just thinking a mile a minute with ADHD, and I don't take anything for it. It's hard for me to focus. Puzzles help me focus. Reading helps me focus. And staring into Carol's beautiful eyes help me focus on you. But that's a little bit of our recommendation when it comes to mindset, is to read positive books. And the one author we recommend, there's 2 authors we recommend, and that's John Maxwell, who's more on leadership and mindset. But Robin Sharma is my favorite now. And he's written, I think, 10 or 12 books. And any book by Robin Sharma is a good mindset book to read. We just got done with a book called The Wealth Money Can't Buy, which I think I'll recommend for everybody. It's pretty thick. And the good news is it's like 1 chapter a day. There's 101 chapters or something. I'm forgetting how many in the book. But you can read literally a chapter a day, which is really just like 2 pages. And it's just simple, and just, maybe read 2 chapters, maybe three chapters a day. It's real easy to read, but if you could only read just 1, that's okay too. Just try to put a little bit of positive each and every day in. And that was the first Robin Sharma book that I read. My friend Mayosha sent that book to me, and it just changed my life. I was like, wow, this is great. I said, Carol, I think you're going to like this book. And is that the first one you read, or the first?
That was not the first one, because I looked at it, I said, this book's way too thick. I'm not gonna read
I had to give her a little kid, coloring book first with the big letters, CJ Run. No, we had to start Carol a little slower. But boy, now she's reading nice, and she read that every book Wealth Money Can't Buy, and now she's a good reader. But again, it started with small steps, and she fought me on that, getting up in the morning to read. I can promise you, there wasn't mutual enthusiastic agreement, but she did agree to try it. And I'm glad she did because it changed our lives. And now we look forward to getting up together. It was, sometimes in the morning we're a little groggy until the coffee kicks in. Um, that's our ritual, and we enjoy it. And next week we're going to talk a little bit about the 5 a.m. club, which is our morning ritual. The reading is just a small part of our ritual, so we're going to talk about that next week. So hopefully we can improve your mindset, improve your relationships, make you a better worker, and I think life will improve. Just start small, and small improvements. Small hinges swing big doors. Same thing with mindset. Just small incremental changes will change your life for the good. And that concludes this episode of the Childcare Genius Training Podcast. Next week, we'll be back with another exciting episode.
And don't forget to hit the subscribe button so you won't miss a future episode of the Childcare Genius Podcast. And we'll see you next week.
Thank you for listening to the Childcare Genius Podcast. If you enjoyed the show, please do us a favor and hit the subscribe button so you don't miss a future episode. Don't forget to visit our website at childcaregenius.com to see a list of services we offer to help grow your childcare business. Until next time, thank you for being a part of the Childcare Genius community.